but I feel like we're so close together.
Yeah.
It's so intimate.
We're going to drive this 2022 Ford Bronco Wildtrak today, and we're going to give you our insights on what we feel about it, how the engine responds, how the seats feel, how the suspension feels over the bumps, everything that we can think of to let you guys know whether it's something that you might want to purchase or not. So are you ready, Felicia?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get going.
As always, I love the Ford 360 cameras and the way that it shows the vehicle on the screen. Now that, on this particular vehicle, that was extra.
Yes.
It doesn't just come with that.
Yeah, no, yep, that was part of an optional package, I think the 353A package.
This is the highest trim level, the Wildtrak, and it still doesn't come with some of the things you would equate with the highest trim package. You have to get the Lux in order to get what I feel are like standard things for the highest trim package.
Yeah, I mean,
on most vehicles.
Right. You don't have a heated steering wheel. You don't have adaptive cruise. There is a list of a bunch of things that were included into that package.
Yeah, for some reason we don't have like electric seats either. There's like a little pump lever to raise and lower and move, you know, and then just the standard handle in the front of the seat to move the seat. But this is a sporty, utility, fun vehicle. It's not meant for luxury, long trip, you know, comfort, I guess.
We're gonna launch this and we'll see how it goes, and it's probably gonna be kind of loud, so are you ready?
Yeah, we have a 6.3 0 to 60
Yeah,
time,
6.3 seconds. 315 horsepower, 410 foot-pounds of torque, and
let's see.
You ready?
Yep.
We're gonna power it up. Oh, that's roasting tires.
Oh my gosh.
We're still roasting.
We're still.
We're going 70, 80. Man, that thing really tips back.
Yeah, it does.
We were tilted way back. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but we were like this. Boy, that really tips you back. That is crazy. That is the weirdest thing. I've never seen that before. For being an off-roading machine that they created this technically to be, they put enough nice amenities inside of here and tried to make it feel as comfortable and a little more upscale than driving like a Jeep Wrangler, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
This 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine, I feel that they probably needed to do a little better with the engine and the power. I don't feel like it's got the power that it needs
it's a little
to
laggy.
accelerate. Yeah. The acceleration's a little slow.
Yeah.
The turbos, it seems like it takes a little bit too long for the turbos to engage, and then that kind of makes it feel like there's no power there.
It almost feels like it needs to go to the shop or something.
Right.
I mean, like I would be like, hey, I think there's something wrong with my truck. It's, you know.
You know, with that engine, you're also getting a combined 17 miles per gallon, which I still feel should be better than that, but, you know, we are driving a giant box. down the road. So it's probably not very aerodynamic, and we've got a lot of wind resistance against it whenever you're driving. So that's probably why the miles per gallon are so low. But the weird thing is they use this same engine in the F-150. It's over 20 miles per gallon. So it probably has something to do with the way they have this geared for off-road more than for on-road. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, it must be. So,
gosh. Yeah,
it's not fast.
No, it doesn't pick up very well at all. And I'm sure that you guys could probably hear how loud and noisy it got in here all of a sudden after we got out of town, because there was about a 15-mile-an-hour wind that we're kind of driving at an angle into, and this hardtop, this removable hardtop, it's not as quiet as I would have expected or hoped. Yeah, I just really thought it would be a little bit quieter than this, and it just kind of makes me wonder how loud the soft top is.
I love the way this thing looks. When they came out, I was so excited.
Yeah.
I had a Bronco Sport for a little while, and I really liked it, but again, I think at this stage in my life, prefer a little more comfort and user-friendliness and roomy cab and things like that. So these tend to be a little bit narrow on the inside, which is a little strange because it appears so large on the outside. But I feel like we're so close together.
Yeah.
It's so intimate. And this really isn't even a center console. It's more like a just elbow console.
Yeah.
It doesn't really go up the middle. But it does have that everything you need for the off-roading as far as the interior.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
All the handles that you need to hang on. There's that dead pedal area to wedge yourself in on that side.
Right.
And so I think it's definitely made well for what it's meant for.
Yeah.
Now tell me a little about these guys up here.
So up here we have we got front and rear locking differentials, and then this button is your trail turn assist. So it actually, whichever direction you're turning, it will lock the wheel on that side and help you just basically spin around the corner instead of actually having to drive around it. So it locks it in place and pivots the vehicle around.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool. And then this is your traction off, and of course your hazard lights. The other thing is they have all these auxiliary lights up here, so you can do all these off-road lights and stuff like that. You can have hooked up.
We've got 6 up here.
And you already got switches that you can use instead of having to mount little buttons and switches everywhere.
Yeah, and I think everything in the vehicle is well laid out as far as if the top was off, right? And the doors were off.
Window switches and the outside mirror adjustments are all down here in the middle.
So when you take the doors off of this, unlike with I think most Jeeps, the mirrors go off when the doors go off, and with this, the mirrors are mounted to the cab, so they stay. When you remove everything, you still have side mirrors. They feel like they're a little pushed back and a little bit awkward, but I mean they still do their job.
Yeah.
And you still have access to what you need them to do when the doors are off. So I think it's good. I think everything up here is good. If the top was off, you would have everything you needed. It seems like really sturdy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this also has a bunch of goat modes. It's got all the goat modes. Do you know what GOAT stands for?
I don't remember.
Goes over all terrain, or goes over all things, or however you want to put it. But that's basically what their name for that is. And this one has those GOAT modes. It also has 4 high, 4 automatic, and 4 low.
What do you think about the comfort from the driver's position?
So, I feel like I'm a little tight in here. Of course, depending on how you sit and how you drive, but the way that I sit, I have my knee is up against this side of the dash, my knee is against this side of the door. Of course, you know, I'm not using my, if I was using my foot on the gas pedal, then I probably wouldn't have it as much on the dash. But this one just resting over here on the footrest, foot pad, it's leaning against the door. I feel this door is like in my elbow way, like I just want to smash it out of the way. This elbow's got like the ball is like on the rest, and my hand kind of rests here. This is okay, it's comfortable, but the armrest is not long enough, I don't feel, especially when I'm in the passenger side. I feel like I'm sitting like this.
Yeah.
The other thing is I am not a fan of these seats. I drove it back for an hour and a half, and I really was not that comfortable. I felt like my butt and my back were starting to hurt.
Oh, really? You're achy?
Yeah, I don't feel that it supports you well around your body. It feels like it's too loose, like I can slide around all over the place.
Well, that wouldn't be good for off-roading.
That's what I was thinking. They should be really bolstered a lot heavier here. Yeah, and the seat seemed like it's really flat, and then the bolsters on the sides are so soft that they don't kind of hold you in place either. I just don't feel like I don't feel that hug from my seat, which I like.
There's not really any bolstering on the seat bottom.
Yeah, and I feel this is all really flat coming out here, so it's like I would just, if you slam on the brakes, I feel like I would just slide right up into the dash.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't noticed that, but yeah, if you were actually off-roading in this, I would definitely be sliding around.
Right.
Think about a person smaller than me would be really sliding around. Yeah.
So yeah,
it does have a lot of head clearance.
It does. There is a lot of headroom in here. I mean, there's the whole width of my hand above this, and
so they took that into account with balancing.
That is really good. I can reach everything fine. The infotainment screen does work great. It's easy to switch between everything. The driver display. The speedometer, it's a little weird having a digital display in the front with a regular speedometer, or analog speedometer, I think that's what they call that. So that's a little weird. I don't understand. If you're going to put the digital screen in the middle that has the speedometer and everything on it and your RPMs, why is there an additional speedometer? I don't get that. Just make the whole thing digital.
Yeah, I thought that was a little strange. So we checked out like a little bit of gas pricing with this. It averages 17 miles a gallon highway and town, which we know we're not buying this for fuel efficiency. 17 miles per gallon is not much, so that's something to take into consideration depending on where you live. And where we are, it's about $3.50 a gallon right now. So with the average driver driving 12,000 miles a year, and you divide that up, it comes up to about a little over $200 a month for gas. Yeah, and so this model's base is $49,780. So that's what kind of payment you're looking at. This one came with an additional 353A high package, which added in another $12.95 to the overall cost, and that gave us a bigger screen. I think usually they come with 10-inch. This one has 12-inch. That gave you extra sound deadening, which is a little scary because it's pretty loud, I feel like. I mean, it does have I guess they're talking about this sort of lining on the roof that's kind of like the carpet that's on the floorboard, right? So extra sound deadening, forward parking sensors.
That's always good.
The 360 cameras, so that's extra. I think for me, when I get in a Ford, I'm always used to that 360 being, as soon as I back up, being on there, almost like there's a camera above you. But this does not come standard with that on any of the packages, so that's something that you have to pay extra for. It's got the LED approach lamps and an LED spotlight, which we're not real sure what that is.
The approach lamps, I believe, is whenever you walk up to the vehicle, then it lights up so you can see. That makes sense, the approach lights. But the spotlight, that one I'm not sure where it's located or what it actually does.
It feels like a bare bones type of vehicle, but it does feel a lot nicer than like a Wrangler. Like, as far as how comfortable it is, how it rides, and
yeah, I mean, you guys can probably see us kind of bouncing around in here, but that's just the Illinois roads. They're not the best in a lot of areas, so just so you know, we're talking about how comfortable it is in the ride and stuff like that, but yeah, it's not as bumpy as what it seems. It's just these Illinois roads have a lot of sharp bumps, and so you're gonna have those little jolts on those sharp bumps, but your bigger bumps in the road and stuff like that, it takes us really easily, and going over railroad tracks, it's nice and smooth. The suspension does a really good job, actually.
Yeah.